Alright, hey guys, I'm gonna be giving you my kind of like thoughts and like essentially a review of God of War Ragnarok's Valhalla DLC. I'm gonna quick go over the positives. I will say that the fact like the random picks that you get when opening like a glyph chest or like a perk chest and whatnot, they're all really good. They definitely make every run feel different. With like between all three weapons, there's a lot of different perks and weapon glyphs, and also like the ability to choose like stats, like stat options to like increase your base stats for the run at least. Very good. They did a really good job giving it like such a good roguelike feel. And I like the tablets on the shore, the upgrades that you can purchase. They definitely feel worthwhile, and like they actively do something for the run. Like they help. Those are permanent upgrades, and I feel like the permanent upgrades are really good. Besides your basic stat upgrades and whatnot, you have like your reroll tokens that you unlock after beating tier. Your just like the ability to earn more fleeting echoes after each fight. The chance of getting level 2 runic attacks instead of level 1s to start, so you don't have to like upgrade like a level, so they do more damage just off the bat. Like they're all really good. It actually feels like you're putting your like hard-earned resources to actual upgrades that will increase your likelihood of finishing the run. Like they're all really good, and I feel like the story was fantastic for the DLC. It was emotional, just like the base game was. Like it definitely brought you closer into the inner turmoils that Kratos is having after the end of Ragnarok. You know, after Atreus is leaving, Kratos now has to figure out what he is going to do with himself, while his son is, you know, doing exactly what Kratos is doing in Valhalla, essentially finding himself. I mean, besides Atreus trying to find all the giants' stones. But the story definitely like is fantastic. And the what is it? Like the ending of the DLC and like the ending of each character's between Mimir, Sigrun, and Freya, it opens up for more possibilities for the IP in the future. Honestly, my thoughts that like I'm curious if the next game that involves Kratos is actually going to be called God of War or God of Hope. I would imagine that potentially it might be called God of Hope and be a new IP for Kratos, right? Or just it might just also be just called God of War still, and he's just a God of War that instead of like fear, death, and whatnot, it is instead like freedom, liberation, you know, democratic shit. And like just like bringing hope to the populace and whatnot, and like, you know, just good stuff. But like the story leaves openings for them to continue the story, and also at the same time it leaves it in a way that you can close out Kratos completely. Like there's no more Kratos, it could just be Atreus, you know, from here on out. Which I don't even know what they would call the IP for Atreus's games, you know, whether it just be Loki or the tricks God of Tricks or Trickster God or something. I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, I would imagine they would continue the IPs with the success of the base game and also the DLC. Honestly, this is one of the best DLCs I've ever gotten to play for free for any game. Anyways, let's continue with the positives. I found the Greek enemies and the Greece setting area to be really interesting and cool. It brought a lot of like enemies from Kratos' past, and also just like the tone and having Helios on your hip. I don't know, it was a really cool setting piece, and also just like the combat area, using high risk, high reward for the rifts to like determine how you want to proceed with your run, whether or not the amount of times I failed the run because I took on a rift that was too much for me. Eventually you start learning patterns like, oh, I want to hit this rift, and then this hit this rift. Granted, like after you beat tier each time, the enemies in the rifts change. So like sometimes you fail a few runs because you thought this one rift would have the same enemies as the last one. I feel like the bosses that are chosen for you to fight after you fight Valhalla Chosen, they're all enemies from the base game and also from God of War 2018 with Magni and Modi. They chose really good bosses to fight in between the lower levels of Valhalla and the upper levels. Some of them they get kind of repetitive because once you beat one, like the other one like rotates in for the next run. They can't do they can't change it too much. But I thought it was good. The first time I beat Valhalla Chosen, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go to the next area now, you know? And then I had to fight a boss. That was terrifying. I didn't have redstones, I didn't have anything. I was like, I can't do this. And I was playing on Show Me Mastery, so it's very difficult. And I feel like they added some interesting arenas for the upper levels, like the Aegean boat and the sand area. Those are really cool. And honestly, once I unlocked them, doing those were a lot faster and more lucrative than doing some of the rifts, because you get a lot of the Valhalla Chosen's the enemies that you had to defeat before you could face tier. Like there's multiple in them, and it made it easier. And also another positive, Helios was an asshole. Makes sense. Kratos beheaded him for kind of no reason. But yeah, no. That was pretty much it for the positives. I'm gonna go over some of the negatives now. My negative thoughts of it. I didn't have a lot actually. The only thing I had issues with the Greek enemies, they just kind of felt kind of like reskinned enemies from the base game. Kind of. Some of them weren't, but some of them kind of felt like they could be. And all the animations were different, but I don't know. They had the same feel of some of the base game enemies. But it was cool seeing some new enemies in there. There's not enough uses of the weapon crests that you get, like the Leviathan crest, the Chaos crest, and the Dropmere crests. You don't get a lot of them often, at least. At least it doesn't feel like it until you know what you have to do to unlock a lot of get them quickly. But there's not a lot of uses for them besides making divine triumphs and crafting armor, right? Cosmetic armor, and also what was it? What else? Divine. Also using them to get the superior resurrection stone at the end. I just wish there was more uses. Potentially using them to upgrade the base damage of your weapons itself. You could increase your base damage by increasing your strength stat and whatnot, but I really feel like it would be, I don't know, if you could have been able to upgrade the damage of your base weapons, it would be interesting and cool. Yeah, let me just get past the bathroom break part of my stream. So yeah, like I just felt like the crests weren't utilized as much as I would have liked. And I covered two things. I feel like the runs feel too short a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's just once you get through it a few times, you get through it quickly. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Most roguelite runs aren't ever really long for any game. I don't know, I just feel like there wasn't enough rooms to prepare yourself. But also at the same time, like, once you get to the upper levels, there's like 10 different rift spots. So the runs can kind of be however long you make them to be. But like, they weren't like too short though. They were still good. It was just a minor thing. I was like, yeah, these kind of feel a little short after a while. And the labors that you can get, or the burdens or whatever you want to call them, the burdens and the labors. Yeah, no, the labors. I was thinking about two different things. I was thinking about the labors, like the quests, the stuff that you can like constantly just re-get like new ones. I also gave you a selection of them to do. Because there was a lot of times there were labels for like long combos that I just hardly ever used or things like that. Granted, you know, it makes you go out of your way to like master more Kratos' like moveset. I just feel like I wish there was like an option to like pick from a list, you know, and the list refreshes every run, you know, and you can kind of pick which ones you want to do. But like, you know, you gain random ones isn't bad per se. I just wish there was a way you could select them potentially. And my last negative was like the lack of being able to turn certain like your weapon crest into a different one. You know, like if you have a like 8 Leviathan crests, but you only have and like 6 drop near quests, but you have no Chaos crests. Maybe you could turn a few of the Leviathan crests into Chaos crests. I was thinking more like a 2-to-1 ratio, so like every 2 Leviathan crests you can get 1 Chaos crest. So like it's kind of a trade instead of it being because I feel like too overpowered, you know, because you could get your Divine Triumphs pretty quickly if there was a way you could transfer them, like change them out for the other ones. So I was thinking of a way that would like kind of balance it out, but you know, it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to because if you get enough of one, you could just spam out a bunch of Divine Triumphs to get what you need. But yeah, anyways, that was like majorly my thoughts. Like, I really enjoyed the DLC. I still got like a few things to do. Sorry, my daughter is cranky. I'm almost done with my video anyways. But overall, like, honestly, I would give the DLC of the like a 9 out of 10. Like, it was fantastic. I just had a few small gripes. But honestly, it was fantastic. It again made, I don't know, it just improved upon the game, and the fact that the DLC was free, even better. Honestly, like, for a free DLC, this was a fantastic DLC. The fact that you got it for free, even like it was, I would have paid for it. Honestly, this DLC was so good. But yeah, overall, it wasn't like a 9 out of 10 for sure. But thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on either one of my streams or one of my random videos I pop up, you know, on a whim. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all the YouTube shit. I'd appreciate it. But overall, thank you for watching, and toodles. Until the next time I see ya.